Hey guys, it's William. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you a super quick and important recipe that you need to keep in your repertoire. It is puff pastry, but we are going to make it the quick and easy way. This is a cheat recipe. It is not actual authentic puff pastry. I'm going to make some traditional and super hard puff pastry soon in this YouTube channel, but I wanted to start with the easy recipe so that I don't scare you off that easily. So let's get right into it. You will be surprised how easy it is to make. Okay, so first of all, we are going to start by salting our super cold and basic tap water. So I'm just going to put some salt in there just to make sure that it actually dilutes in the water so that our puff pastry is evenly salted. And then we can add our all-purpose flour to our bowl, and then we can work on the butter. I'm using some very cold and best quality butter possible. And I'm just going to cut everything into chunks of butter using a sharp knife. Once all the butter is all in, I'm just going to add my salted water, and then I'm going to mix everything with a paddle attachment for a few seconds. You do not want it to be combined. You want to see some big pieces of butter here and there, and you just want the dough to start to form a ball, but not entirely. So it is very important here that you do not overmix it. You need to see the butter. This looks great, so I'm just going to gather the bits and pieces of flour that are stuck at the bottom of our glass bowl, and using my hands I'm just going to gather the dough basically so that we can roll it out. And I'm going to roll it out on a pretty floured surface until I have a long and thin rectangle. So from here and now, this is a pretty simple folding technique. We are just going to fold in thirds. So I'm just going to, first of all, fold the first third, and then I'm just going to remove the excess flour. We don't need that flour, so we need to take it off. And then I'm just going to fold again on top of my dough. So this will make 3 layers of puff pastry. And once you have folded that, you're just going to rotate everything so that you have the key of the puff pastry, which is pretty much the opening side of your puff pastry on your right. It is quite important to have this key always on the same side, so I always recommend you doing the right so that you remember it. And then you are going to roll everything out and do exactly the same using the 3-fold technique. So as you will see, this dough is pretty sticky since you have all that butter going on, but don't worry, once you will have a few folds, it will be actually less sticky and way more combined, since you will basically mix the butter with the flour. And then once you have done your 2 sets of folding, you are going to unflour your surface and just cover your dough with some plastic wrap and put it in the fridge for about 30 to 45 minutes or until it is set. If you want to do this recipe the express way, I suggest putting it in the freezer, and this will take about 20 minutes. My dough is super chilled, so now it is time to work on it once again, and we are going to do exactly the same thing as before. We are going to fold it twice doing the 3-fold technique. So basically I'm just going to roll out my dough on a nice and long rectangle, and then I'm going to fold it in thirds and do exactly the same with my key on the right, the rolling out and the folding once again. Our dough is gorgeous, so now I'm just going to cover it in plastic wrap once again and put it in the fridge a bit less time since it is quite chilled and firm still. So I'm just going to put it in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes, and in the freezer if you want to use a freezer for about 10 minutes or so, just until it gets a bit more firm. And then we can do exactly the same, which is doing this 3-fold technique 2 more times. And you just have to be a bit patient, but it is not difficult at all. So I folded my dough a sixth and final time, so it is done and ready to be used right now. So you can just put it in the fridge and forget about it and use it like 2 days after, or you can use it straight away to make beautiful desserts. I actually cut a rectangle of dough and baked it in my preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius, which is 390 in Fahrenheit. And this is how everything looks. And as you can see, this puff pastry is super puffy, which is exactly what we want, and I'm going to use it for many recipes in the future. For example, I actually made a rhubarb tart that I'm going to share with you quite soon, and it tasted amazing. So you have to trust me on this, and find the entire list of ingredients in the description down below if you want to recreate this recipe. You can also find there my social media, so Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where you can share with me your beautiful pictures of food and desserts. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel to help me grow on YouTube, and give this video a like and a comment if you enjoyed this content. And I will see you very soon for another gorgeous recipe. Bye!